Alright, in this video we're going to be making the 2019 National 5 graphics assignment. The data sheets look like this. 3 parts, all pretty simple, but there is a few things that can certainly trip you up that you can't quite tell just from looking at the drawing. But I'll show you as we go. So I'll make this part first, then this part and the top part, and then I'll assemble it. The assembly is pretty easy. So start a new part, standard mm.ipt. And I'm going to do a revolve. So I'm going to look at where my profile is going to be and then what sizes I'm going to need. So I'm going to draw this line at 8, and then a line going across which is going to be half of 6. This whole length is 6, this will be 3, and then this length will be 7, and then just the arc in between. So 8, 3, 7. I'm just using the line tool, and then I'm going to just type in 8, click enter. Okay, going horizontal now, 3, and then go to my line tool again, 7, and then use the arc tool. So when you're using the arc tool, you need a start and a finish point if you've got a size that you need to make this arc. So I've got my start and my finish, so I'm happy with that. And then I can type in here, radius of 14, finish for sketch, revolve, select my axis, click OK. Now on this part, you've got to start thinking about how it's actually going to all fit together, and that's how you get the solution. So it tells you here that there's a wall thickness of 1, and there's also a hole that's running through it. The hole you need to make first. So it's just a hole that is 3, and then it is 6 deep. So finish sketch, extrude, cut, 6. And then the rest is just shelled, and we're going to remove this face and this face, and the wall thickness is going to be 1. So it doesn't actually tell you that this part is removed, as when you look above it, that still doesn't tell you anything. That could still be solid in there and not removed. So the only way you're thinking that it's going to be removed is because it all needs to actually fit together, and this is going to be the front piece there. So I'm going to save this, save it in a new folder. And it's called earpiece. So I'm going to move on to the next part. New standard mm.ipt, and we're going to make the wireless connector now. So on this one, there's a few different parts. So this part is just going to be extruded with a chamfer. Whenever there's a chamfer, just pretend it's not there and then chamfer it later on. And there's this revolve that needs to happen here, and there's going to be a rectangle on the front, or a square actually. So I'm going to do the revolve first. So I'm looking at the plan really for this. So I've got a line, or my profile is going to be along here, and then I've just got a line here and a line here at different sizes. It's quite a lot going on here, so you need to look specifically at where the arrows are pointing. This radius is 35, the radius sort of gives it away. The radius tells you that it's not a full circle, so that's the back one, so we don't want that. We want the 6. So this whole line across here is going to be 6, so we just need a 3, 6, and the front is a radius of 11, so this one is 5.5. So 6, 5.5, 3. So I'm just going to double check that. 6, 3 from the 6, and yep, 5.5. So then we've got another arc that's a radius of 10, so I've got my start and finish point here. And then I'm happy to just revolve that. And then I can just draw the next part. So for the rectangle, I'm going to use the 2-point center rectangle. Get to that just clicking the drop down menu. And I'm going to type in 3, then hit tab, which is next to Q. Sometimes it says tab on your keyboard, sometimes it's 2 arrows. So just have a look at your keyboard, have a look at Q, and tab is next to it. And then I can type in 3 there. Finish sketch, extrude. This size is 1. And then I'm going to draw this back face now. So I've already looked at this, so I'm going to draw a circle that is 7, and then I'll show you to do the rest. So starting a sketch on the back, so circle this time that is 7, and then I've just got a line, straight line down the bottom. There's probably a better way to do this, but this is the most simple, and this is 4. So I'm going to just dimension it into place. So the end of this from the center is 2, and the end of this to the center is 2. And then we've got a size here, I'll need to look at 25. And then all I need to do is connect up. Then just trim off any excess, finish sketch, extrude. This time we're extruding 3. Actually need to select it. And then chamfer, just 1. Tells you that by the 1 by 45. Don't need to change any angles, so we're all right to go with that. So that's this part finished. So let's save this. Wireless connector. And then move on to the last part. So this part I'm going to do a revolve. Yeah, you could potentially do a number of extrudes, but I'm just going to do this in one big revolve. There's sort of 2 parts to this. So there's this detailed view here that has a bit more sizes there, but it looks complex, but it's not really. We're just looking at one rectangle, which is going to be here. Again, if there's ever a chamfer, just ignore it and do it at the end. So I'm looking at a rectangle that's 5.5 by 8. Might need to move back to the regular rectangle tool. 5.5 by 8. Then I'm looking at the next part, which is the rectangle that I'm going to need above. But in this instance there is actually a small slope there, so I am going to do 5 and then just 4.5 and draw a line along, and it's too high. I'm just going to finish this by dimensioning the end of this to here. That's going to be 5. Then the last part, all the sizes are up here, so it is too high by 1.5. I could have done a rectangle there. And then the next part is 0.5 high by 0.5 along, and then just meets up. And then finish sketch, revolve, access. This doesn't quite look right. Ah. So I looked at the wrong size there. This is 6.5. There we go. So the size I'd looked at there is this 11 when it's actually this 13. So the way that you ever need to change anything, go over to revolve and then click into the sketch and you can just edit your sketch. That's why sometimes it is a good idea to have an empty drawing and you can put your components in. You can check your sizes to see if you're getting all your sizes right. So that's this part done. I just need to do a chamfer and then put in some holes. And this is one. And this one has a shell as well, which is at 1mm. And then there is an extrude up here. And then there's a final extrude on the bottom. Like that. So that's this piece done. On this piece, it doesn't actually tell you that this part is a rectangle, but you can tell it's a rectangle because it's going to be going on to this piece here. There's quite a few things like that that just try and trip you up in this one, for instance this part and this part. And now we've got all these bits done. I'm going to call this main body. Save that, and then the assembly is the easiest part. So new standard mm.iam, place, and I'm going to put in all our pieces. Go into place, then right click, and then it's just a simple matter of constraining them. Going to do this face and this face first. Apply. I'm just going to move it out of the way, and I'm going to do this edge and this edge. Apply, and same again, just move it out of the way. I'm going to constrain an edge to an edge, and you just want to test that it all moves together, nothing moves away. And then constrain. When you're constraining this, you want to have the center line going through, and when you're constraining this, you want to have the center line going through. You might need to flip it around. So this is them two parts aligned, but we don't have it connecting because you can still move it. So just that face and this face. Apply. Have a look to make sure it looks like the picture. And then you're finally just putting it all into a drawing where you can check the sizes again. Alright, that's this for this one. So fairly easy. assembly compared to some other assignments, but some of the parts do have a wee bit more to it. Even me making a wee mistake as I go on this piece as well. Right, good luck.